You're listening to the One Man Show Network. Welcome to the MMA Fight Picks Podcast with your host, Aaron Weinbaum.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the MMA Fight Picks Podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Weinbaum, and we are going to pick fights for this Saturday's UFC event in Tampa, Florida. Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Michelle the Karate Hottie Waterson. First off, though, let's talk a little bit about UFC 243 last week. If you're a Ally Quinta fan, as I am, it was a bit of a heartbreaker. You can't put the guy away. I mean, he's just as tough as they come, and, hats off to Dan Hooker. And then, wow, Israel Adesanya, the fastest rising star in the UFC right now. So, good on him. He is now the undisputed champion, beating Robert Whittaker. So, good job on that. Need to wet the whistle here just a little bit. I am in Dallas, Texas for a work thing, but I was not going to let you all down. I'm definitely going to pick the fights for the UFC in Tampa. First up, Nico Price versus James Vick in his premiere at 170 pounds. I'm glad to see him make this move. I didn't like seeing him get knocked out at 155. First of all, let's talk about his opponent. Nico Price just lost to Jeff Neal back in July. Before that, he's got a win over Tim Means. It kind of goes back and forth, wins and losses. Strung a couple together back in 2018, Randy Brown and George Sullivan. And has a loss to Vincent Luque, but lots of people do. James Vick, man, it's, this is good. This is a whole new deal. You can't really just go off his last few fights. Have been a lightweight. He cuts a lot of weight. And, he just got knocked out by Dan Hooker. A decision loss against Paul Felder where he punctured Paul Felder's lung for that knocked out by Gaethje. And, yeah, it's 3 losses in a row, but before that, the guy was on a 4-fight tear, so let's not count him out just yet. They say he's a big 155-pounder. We'll see if this move is right for him, and am I going to pick him to win? I don't know. The old joke is he going to be efficient with his energy, feeling a little better? We've seen it with Conor McGregor not making a weight cut and fighting at 170 pounds. We just saw it with Kevin Lee against RDA. So, yeah, as much as I want to just pick James Vick and say this is the cure for him coming up to 170 pounds, I'm going to pick Nico Price in this one. Yeah, we'll see. We will see. Next up, Eric Anders, friend of the iQuinta Realty account, against Gerald Michart. All right, so I want to see if this fight's going to be at middleweight. I think it is. Let's just take a look here at Gerald. Gosh. Yeah, it is. Okay. So I believe this fight is at middleweight. Yeah, so let's take a look here. Eric Anders just beat Vinicius Moreira. Before that, 3 losses in a row. Khalil Roundtree Jr. Split decision loss to Elias Theodoro. Lost to Thiago Santos. I didn't like him taking that fight. It was short notice. He had to go to Brazil. I realized he doesn't cut that much weight to get to 205, but he had just literally fought less than a month before against Tim Williams. Let's take a look at Michart. So, just beat Trevin Giles. Loses to Kevin Holland. Loses to Jack Hermanson. But he does have a win over Eric Spicely. You know what? I like Eric back at middleweight. I'm going to pick him to win. I think he's had a little bit of a stronger schedule. So, yeah, he hasn't fought since June. I like it. Eric Anders, for sure. Long Island's the Steamroller, Matt Fravola, taking on Luis Pena. Let's take a look at the Steamroller first of all. Just beat Jalen Turner. Before that was a Jordy draw against Funky Lando Venata. Lost to Polo Reyes. But I believe Polo Reyes may have tested positive at the time. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I think I know that would have been a no contest, so I'm not really sure. Let's take a look at Luis Pena. He just beat Matt Wyman, beat Steven Peterson. Before that, loses to Michael Trizano. Man, he's been around a while. Oh, man, I don't know. I want to think that the Steamroller wants to get this back for Sarah Longo after a tough weekend in Australia. What the hell? Yeah, come on. I'm going for it. I'm going for the Steamroller, Matt Frivola. Just a reminder, if you're on the Periscope, feel free to hop on and help me pick fights. Mackenzie Dern, returning from having a baby, taking on Amanda Ribas. Okay. This is going to be controversial. This is only Wednesday before the fight. I've said this before and I've been right. I've said this before and I've been wrong. Okay, Mackenzie Dern is taking this fight at 115 pounds, right? I gotta say it's going to be at 115 pounds. Let me look this up just to make sure. Yeah. It looks like it's at 150 pounds, 15 pounds, unless I'm mistaken. Twitter fact checkers, let me know. She last missed weight by 12 pounds. She was closer to 125 pounds than she was to 115, the contracted weight of 115 pounds. And then here we are, after a pregnancy, giving her a fight at 115 pounds, which she has many, many times missed weight for. I wish I knew how many times. 1, let's see, 2, 3 times that I know of, okay? And we're going to reward her with this fight. Insane. I don't think she's going to make the weight. Maybe I'm wrong. Coming off a pregnancy, women, tell me, is it easier to lose weight after a baby, or is it harder? I'm not a woman. I don't know, but I can only guess. Not as easy. All right, so let's just take a look. And I have a comment here. Khabib ended McGregor career. All right, thank you for the random comment there. Nathaniel James, Nathaniel James, 98. Back to it. Okay, Mackenzie hasn't lost in MMA. I hope this isn't one of those deals where she misses weight, they let her fight anyway, and she wins. I'm getting tired of seeing that. Amanda Ribas just 1-2. Emily Whitmire. This was in the UFC by submission. I don't think she's going to submit Mackenzie Dern. Before that, she beat Jennifer Gonzalez Arenda back in Max. That'd be MF. That'd be Max Fight. TKO. Has a loss to Polyana. And then, had never lost before that. This is difficult for me. Mackenzie did come on weight, I believe, for Ashley Yoder and won a split decision. I thought Yoder probably won that fight. But who's she beaten besides Amanda Cooper, really? Ashley Yoder, I don't know. Man, this is tough. I don't like picking these fights where I don't think the fighter is going to make weight. But I got to go with the record here. If she doesn't make weight, I withdraw my pick, and I don't care what happens. But I am going to pick Mackenzie Dern to win. It looks like, you know what? It looks like Amanda has threats, submission threats, and knockout threats. I mean, she finishes, every fight she wins. Now, do I think she's going to submit Mackenzie Dern? I do not. But I think maybe she can at least keep up with the defense. So we will see. Man, next up, Cub Swansons versus Kieran Gracie. All right, Cub. Are they just going to keep feeding this guy killers? Because Kieran looks like a killer right now. Just quickly disposing of Alex Caceres in that last fight. Totally different grappling level. But, man, all of a sudden, Cub has got 4 losses in a row. Shane Burgos, Hanada Makano, Frankie Edgar, Brian Ortega. Hasn't won since Artem Lobov, the GOAT, back in April 2017. Now, Kieran just returned after a long layoff to beat Alex Caceres. He hadn't done MMA since 2016. Comes back February 2019. Beats Alex Caceres. But who's he beat? Really? This is tough, man. Cub only goes against the killers. I think Cub's a black belt, but he's a different kind of black belt. I think Karan is it may be a different level. I'm trying to see what belt he is. I'm pretty darn sure, but golly. You know what? I'm going to go for the upset here. I like Cub. I want Cub to win. And if somehow Karan pulls it off, why the hell aren't we putting together a Ryan Hall, Karan Gracie showdown, submission showdown, jiu-jitsu showdown at 145 pounds? I don't know. Anyway, people stressing me out, man. So, next up. I got 6 viewers. Feel free to say hi and help me pick the main event of the evening. Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus the karate hottie, Michelle Waterson. You got to think, with the current title situation, Joanna has lost the title to Rose Namajunas, who got beaten by Jessica Andrade, who just got beat by Weili Zhang. So all of a sudden, Joanna, with an impressive win, is back in there after losing 2 in a row to Rose. So an impressive victory here. Who knows what's going to happen? Because it would be quite an international draw, Weili Zhang versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's take a look at Joanna's last few fights. I believe all of a sudden she's got some losses strung together. Last lost to Valentina Shevchenko, moving up to 125 pounds, who challenged for that belt. Before that, she's got a win over Tisa Torres. And then the 2 losses to Rose Namajunas. Before Rose, she was unstoppable. Carolina Kowalkiewicz, Jessica Andrade, Claudia Gadelha, Valeria Turno, Jessica Pena. So we'll see what she looks like coming back at 115 pounds, which she is known to have some bad weight cuts. So it's kind of interesting there. Michelle Waterson's won 3 in a row all of a sudden. Carolina, Felice Herrig, Courtney Casey. Before that, she loses 2 in a row, Tisha Torres and Rose Namajunas. But she really hasn't lost since December 2017. Very, very interesting here. I believe this may even be the second time they fought. I will have to look here. I don't know. No, I don't think so. Okay. Not the second time they fought. Interesting. Man, oh man. As much as I want to believe in Michelle Waterson's career resurgence, I'm probably going to have to go with the former champ here, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Do I absolutely root for Michelle? I think she can pull it off, but you don't know. You just don't know. So, yeah, we'll see. I do think Joanna's going to win it. I'm going to pick Joanna to win it. Had a bunch of quiet lurkers today watching me on the Periscope, not saying anything, except for Nathaniel James 98. So I want to thank you for listening. I'm going to call it for this week. I'll pick fights for the next available event. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. And signing off from Dallas, Texas. Until next time, shalom.
Please remember to support the podcast by visiting the affiliate links on AaronSaysWhat.com.